Mayad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas here in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of 3-in-1 coffee. It's coffee, cream, and sugar all in one powder form. Put it in your cup, put hot water in it, and you're good to go. A nice cup of coffee. Let me pull my screen up here, that way I can read the comments on my laptop. It helps me. Hey, yo, 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 Tim, yo, 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 my good friend in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. All right, Tim. Let me pull up here, make sure I'm online. I can at least watch the comments here. Makes it easier for me. All right, there, I can see the comments. Scuba Steve, all right. Sometimes I have a problem reading the comments on my phone, so it's good that I have it here on my laptop. My brother Scuba Steve. Dazzle, of course, is still sleeping. Mom and Leanna's at church. I dropped them off earlier. They went to the 6 o'clock church this morning. They should be pulling in here probably 7:30 or so. They're just gonna ride a tricycle. Not far. The church here is only maybe 2 kilometers away, not far from us. Good morning, Bill Meyer. Good morning, Bill Meyer. All right. Hey, brother. Good morning. Like and subscribe. All right. Thank you, Scuba Steve. 14 hours of snow. Wow. 30 below zero, man. I can't even imagine that, man. I can't even imagine. It's been so long that I've been in any type of cold weather. It's like before I moved to the Philippines in 2011, I lived in Arizona. I mean, we would get cold during the winter, but we rarely does it snow in Tucson, Arizona. It would, like, for a little bit, but not like 14 hours of snow. I remember that though when I lived in Japan at Misawa Air Base in Japan. I just want to do a quick shout out. My good friend Melissa, she lives in Corpus Christi, Texas. I had a call with her this morning. She's hasn't been doing the best of health the past couple of months. Finally got to talk to her. She's going through like medical issues. Her sister's visiting her in Corpus Christi. Her name's Vanessa from Italy. And my friend Melissa, she takes care of her mom in Corpus Christi. So she's been going through a medical battle, her mom too. So it was just a blessing to finally talk to her again. I'm glad that she's healthy enough again. So I was able to talk to her this morning. What a blessing this morning to hear her voice again. All right, let me see here. Man, I can't even, 30 below zero. Oh, there it is. My good friend, right there. She rises faith. All right, Melissa, my sister Vanessa. All right, man. I just did a shout out. Perfect timing. So nice to talk to you again, Melissa. I know. God bless my sister. JP, all right, hello, Gino, Scuba, all right, Bill Meyer and everyone, all right, Bill, all right, Scuba Steve, all right, everybody. Oh, no sound, I don't know about no sound. Let me see, loud and clear. All right, you're loud and clear. Probably just, probably maybe your phone or your laptop, maybe you have to put the sound on your, loud and clear, all right. You just made me cry. Thank you for the shout out to me, my brother. All right, no worries. And anytime, Melissa, I'm here for you. I'm your brother from another, Anytime you need to talk to me. Bill, my sounds here. All right. Hey, thriving expat. That's my good friend Michael in Masbate Island. Good morning. All right, no worries. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Rocky watched. All right. Please, everyone, give a like. All right, all right. Let me do the weather really quick. I always try to do the weather. Looks like it's gonna be a sunny day. I mean, there's rain. It looks like clouds, but nice and cool this morning. That was the one thing when I took Mom and Leanna to church this morning. Even the temperature, I would probably say in the 80s right now. It's not warm at all. It's been like that the past couple of mornings. Even when we were in Iloilo City, when Dazzle and I were in Iloilo City, I forgot my sweatshirt, my hoodie when we went to Iloilo City, but I was wearing Dazzles when I was doing my morning walks in Iloilo City. Pretty much, again, no weather conditions in the Philippines, no typhoons, no tropical depression. Just your typical, we're towards the end of the wet season in the Philippines. July to December, it's like the wet season, rainy season. We're towards the end. Come January, it will lessen, and definitely by February, you'll start feeling like it's summer here. So for Manila, it says here Metro Manila, Visayas, Bicol, the rest of Luzon, pretty much the entire Philippines. Again, it says here cloudy skies, scattered rains with isolated thunderstorms. That's usually weather here for December. That's typical. Cooler temperatures in the morning. Hello, thriving from JP. Rocky Balboa. All right, like Rocky Balboa. 8, right there. 8, 6. What's that? I can't read. That's why I have to look at the laptop because sometimes on my phone it's hard. 16 days until I land in Katilan. All right, JP. I cannot wait to pick you up, man. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have fun picking you up. I'm sure on the drive to Calibo, you're gonna see. It's gonna be nice. Just finally meeting you in person, and then taking you to your new home. Might be temporary home, but your new home at La Casa Española. All right, JP. Hello, Bill. All right, the Philippines now, no money. No money? All right. I don't know about no money, man. Right now, all my neighbors last night, there was like party going down, like 2 doors down here. My neighbor, they were having a party, karaoke. I mean, I don't know about no money, man. I don't see the no money because everywhere I went, even in Iloilo City, in Calibo right now, people are busy shopping. And Lowell, hey, kumusta? Kumusta, Lowell? My good friend, my brother in Oregon. God bless, my brother. God bless, my brother. Hello, everyone. Please, let's put, all right, thank you there, Michael. Welcome, Lowell. J-Boy, all right, J-Boy. Good morning, Kuya, Gino, in the chat. All right. Why did you move Philippines from the USA? For me, it was an easy decision for me to move from, I lived in the United States for over 30 years. I have a military pension. I get a monthly pension from the United States Air Force. I've been collecting a pension since I was 37 years old. I'm 59 now, soon to be 60. So I've been collecting almost 23 years now of military pension. So that's why that was an incentive for me to retire in the Philippines, because I knew with my military pension that would be more than what I would need living here in the Philippines. For me, I know many of my military retirees in the US, a lot of them continue to work. A lot of us in the military, when we retire from the military, usually we retire around 40. 40 is like we're done with 20 years in the military. A lot of us go into federal service, do another 20 years or so in federal service, get another retirement from federal service. But I didn't want to go that route. For me, I've always wanted to retire early. I wanted to experience life. I didn't want to when I got to age 45, I was thinking, do I really want to work another 17 years? be 62 years old before I get to retire. For me, it just worked out. I was able to retire early and enjoy my life early, and no regrets at all. It's been a blessing all the way through. It's been a blessing because I know many people don't get to do it, and I know even now, even at 62, even at 65 now, people aren't able to retire fully in the U.S. anymore. Double tap. All right. Good morning, Gino from Malinaw. Oh, Malinaw. I've been to Malinaw. One time I think in Malinaw, where you have that raft on the river, we had a party on that raft. There's like maybe 15 people, my expat friends. We had like a birthday celebration food. You can even barbecue on that raft on the river, I remember. And then that same day, we went to Lichticon White Rocks because it was close enough from Malinaw. I mean, we took like those big truck with the Duali tires in the back. Man, it was like treacherous going up there to Lichticon White Rocks. Lowell, hello JP, all right. Rene Navarro, why did the school teacher might be a joke here. Right, students. All right. I figure at least it's a clean joke. I gotta be careful when I read stuff because I know some people are trying to be funny sometimes, but that's a clean joke. I don't mind that joke, man. That's a wise move. USB must be a good trade. Right now, I mean, I don't know. I didn't look at the current rate, but right now it's like hitting like all-time high on the dollar exchange rate. I mean, let me pull it up real quick here. What is it today? Right now it's 59.06 is what I'm looking at here. That is anything 59. I think they finally set the record, I think 59.22. So anything 59, man. It's like the exchange rate right now is killing it. The dollar is killing it here in the Philippines. JP, are you getting excited? So close now. I know. Or mixed feeling. The Philippines is no pension on military. I'm not familiar with how the military works in the Philippines. I do see a lot of Filipino military retirees. I do see them here, but I don't know how their pension system works. McCoy, good morning, greetings. Ooh, Germany, wow. Good morning, greetings from Germany. Wow, that's awesome. Have you decorated your home for Christmas? Show us. No, Flyboy, this year, we did not feel like decorating for Christmas this year. We lost our Chloe, was like our dog Chloe, the day before Thanksgiving, and we just haven't felt like celebrating this year. I mean, we'll do. Leanna, I'll make sure Leanna will get a gift. Mom gets a gift, and then Dazzle, she already did her Christmas shopping, but we're just not in the mood to like be celebrating this year because we got too many memories of our dog Chloe. Chloe was 11 and a half when she passed, and all her memories here just too much for us right now. So we're just trying to get through like the loss of our Chloe. That was our baby, man. Chloe was our baby. She slept in our bed. We carried her. That was our baby. We carried her everywhere in our car when we go on vacations. We're still, Dazzle and I are still working through that. It's gonna be a while for us to like get over the loss of our Chloe. J boy, no mixed feeling. It's going to be fun, even when things don't go as planned. I will be leaving freezing temps for the tropical. I think so too, JP. There's really, to me, you're coming in, you're gonna have a nice soft landing in Calibo. I know you will. You got friends already when you get here. Me, Edgar, Smell, Mom, Leanne. You got like, you almost have a family coming in here, man. And that's already like half the battle. It's like when you come to the Philippines, meeting good people that's gonna watch out for you and take care of you. to me, that's already a blessing that you have that you have like a small community already. And I'll introduce you to all the good people here, the people that I know will help you make the transition here, and then the people to avoid too. You always have people like that. You always have people that you gotta avoid too. Halina said hi. J-Boy, Gino, at what age did you start really thinking about retiring early? And what was there any triggers that really made you start to think? All right, for me, when I was stationed at Clark, was I think the first initial idea of retiring in the Philippines. That's when I came to mind, because I was stationed at Clark Air Base in the Philippines. I worked at the 13th Air Force Medical Center, still friends with many, both military and local. We have a group. We actually have a group, 13th Air Force Medical Center. We have a page on Facebook, and we communicate with each other. I actually, my friends that I worked with, my Filipina friends that were like my co-workers, they actually visited us here, stayed in our house even. I went to Boracay with them. That's how close of friends they are to me. When I was stationed at Clark, I just saw so many retirees at Clark at the time, Americans. They were married to Filipina, and they're retired in the Philippines. And I was looking at them even back then. I was in my 20s back then. I was looking at them, and these guys were like in their 40s, and they're retired in the Philippines. Nice homes in Angeles City, and I was seeing what their life was, and I was like, man, if I had an opportunity to do that, I would definitely do that. So in the back of my mind, that I think that's what kept me in the military for 20 years, because it's not easy to be in the military for 20 years. A lot of sacrifices to serve in the United States military for 20 years. But it always was in the back of my mind, man, I just got to get my pension from the military, and I can have a good life back in the Philippines. Because for me, anyway, living in the U.S., I lived in the U.S. for over 30 years. Like I said, it never felt home for me. America never felt home. I love my time in America. I'll always be grateful for the opportunities that I had in the United States. I would not have the life I have now if it was not for the U.S. So thankful, blessed to have a military pension. But I never felt home. U.S. was never home for me. The Philippines was always home. No matter how long I lived in the United States, I would get asked by people all the time, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" My answer was always the Philippines. It's like that's why I still speak Tagalog. When I was in the U.S., I maintained speaking Tagalog with my mom, my sister. And then even when I met Filipinos in the U.S., immediately the first thing I know, marunong ka mag-Tagalog? The minute I said, and I speak Tagalog to them. So home was always the Philippines. So for me, when I finally start really like thinking about it, was maybe a year before I moved here. Was when I started thinking, well, I think it's possible. I was like, I think it's possible for me to move back now, and then I just made that leap of faith, because even though I'm Filipino, even though it was still a leap of faith for me. And I know some people, well, you're Filipino, it's an easy transition for you to the Philippines. It's really not, because I left the Philippines when I was a young kid, and then I moved back when I was 45. As a young kid and at 45, the Philippines is like two different dynamic, even for me. OKC and Spurs tonight. All right, who you with? I might not even watch it, man. I'm a Laker fan, man. So it's like I'm not big. Well, if it's not my Lakers, unless it's the finals or something, playoffs, I'll watch. But tonight, probably won't even watch that game. I never thought about retiring early until the last 2 years, and I'm only 40 years old. All right, J-Boy. Hey, man, you're at least you're thinking about it. It's like you're planning for it. If the opportunity presents itself for you, man. It's like I always tell people, why work if you can afford to retire financially. to me, there's really no reason for you to be working. It's like, what, you're working for more money? It's like, can't take with you, man. You can't take the money with you. As long as you can afford to retire, man. I have not met a person that told me, I wish I was still working. It's like, everybody that I've met here in the Philippines that are retired here, all of them tell me, man, I should have done this years ago. I should have done this 5, 10, 15 years ago. I should have come to the Philippines when I was still a younger man. Fly boys. I heard dual will be over in the US. US says I need to make a choice. That's way down the road, man. It's like, that's all political there. And if they do make a decision, like for me, it's an easy decision. I'll select my American citizenship because I have benefits. I have Social Security coming my way. Really, in the Philippines, I'm a citizen of the Philippines. I gained my dual citizenship. But really, the only benefit that I have here as to get my dual citizenship is I do not have to like worry about the visa requirements. But even if I have lost my Philippine citizenship, it's not a big deal because I'm still Filipino. I can still avail the balikbayan privilege. So I'm not required to like get visas like the tourist visa and all that. It's like I'm still exempt from that. So not a big deal. Not a big deal for me. Oh, so sorry to hear about Chloe. I know. We're still, Melissa, we're still working through that Dazzle and I were, there's days like, even this morning when I woke up, my routine every day in the past, I would wake up and I would just like put Chloe on my shoulder and we were just I talked to her. That was kind of like my routine before I get up. And when I get up the bed, she stays with Dazzle, So we're still working through that, There's just so many memories, And Christmas was one of our best memories with Chloe because we always had gifts for Chloe. We always like wrap gifts for Chloe. And her biggest thing is like we'll label the gifts and say, to Chloe from Santa. And we would like tell that to Chloe and she gets running around here. She gets so excited. So that's why we're kind of like not celebrating. We'll go to the Christmas party. I'll go to the opening of lights of Kalibo, but we just didn't feel like decorating and really going all out for Christmas this time. Maybe next year. We're recovered. We're recovered from losing our Chloe. Our deepest. All right. Thank you, Melissa. Kuya, I had a pet named Nina, who was my baby. We will be praying for your little. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's gonna be a while for that was our baby. People always just ask me, Melissa, like when Dazzle and I got married. Over 9 years ago. In April, we'll be married 10 years. And people used to always ask us, when are you guys gonna have a baby? How come you don't have a baby? And we always Dazzle and I always looked at each other like, we have a baby. Chloe's our baby. She's been our baby since we were in college. Chloe was a gift from me to Dazzle on her birthday. Back in 2014. So she's been our baby since then. 11 and a half years. Chloe was our baby. Fly boy, will you lose your government pension if you choose? No, I'm never gonna lose my. I won't lose my military pension. I won't lose my Social Security. The Philippine citizenship, all it was is because I have a birth certificate. I have a Filipino birth certificate, and I'm allowed to regain my Filipino citizenship. And I did that in 2012. I applied for when I was here already in the Philippines. So for me to renounce my Philippine citizenship, it's not a big deal. I'm still Filipino, right? It's just a piece of paper, man. People making a big deal out of it like it's a really big deal. I don't think it is. Said hi. All right, Goku. What happened to your neck? It's red. All right, my neck is red. I'll show you right there and right there. Those are radiation burns. I had to go through chemo treatments and radiation therapy. I had 33 radiation treatments on my neck. I had big tumor on my left side here. They had to like remove the tumor and then the radiation. I had head and neck cancer, stage 3 in 2023. I'm now cancer free for like 2.5 years. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm thankful to God that, I survived. That's why my neck is red. Radiation burns don't go away. So I'll probably have these the rest of my life. But hey, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be alive. Manila Gorilla. Hey, Martin. Hey, Martin. Good morning. Good morning, Martin. J-Boy. Will you be doing once you're in the Philippines? Right there, JP. All right. I am not sure yet. I think I will make some shorts, but would not want to do long format. I would be happy to help other bloggers. All right. All right. I know a lot of people, it's like when they get here, they think it's easy to vlog and be a vlogger. It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. It's like to do YouTube. And now there's so many YouTubers here in the Philippines now. It's like really hard. Like I have a friend, he's been trying to get monetized now for close to a year, and he's still not monetized. It's hard. YouTube is not as easy as it looks to do. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Seeing shorts would be nice and not too much work. Yeah. For me, the shorts that you see on my channel, I never used to do short videos. I think Dazzle made like 6 or 7 shorts. But now the AI, I guess the AI of YouTube has made it easy for me. What I do with the live streams, like this live stream that I'm doing right now, what it does is YouTube automatically pulls like a short. I don't have to do anything. After this live stream, I have a short that all I got to do is title it. I don't even have to do that. If I didn't want to title it, I can just leave it as is and just show like I think it says like highlight, like live highlight. It'll save live highlight. I do not want to create a job for myself. I've been working since thank you, JB. It's not easy. Like for me, I never viewed it as work. I've never really viewed YouTube. For me, the fun for me in YouTube is like meeting the people like JP. I would have never met JP. I would have never met Edgar. I would have never met Mel, Daniel. I would have never met these people. J-Boy, I would have never met you without YouTube. And now we're friends. It's like if you guys come here to Calibo, to Boracay, we can hang out. We can have like coffee. We can have coffee together. And when you find your Filipina does enough work, J-Boy, I am hoping a Filipina will make my life better, not create work. Amen, JP. Good morning, Gino and all. Hey, Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. All right. I do have a topic. I thought I was gonna, I'm on this many expat like Facebook groups. I enjoy them because like it gives me ideas for content and on the live stream even. And I want to bring up this topic. This guy right here, he posted on an expat group. He goes, 6 years ago, I sold everything I owned in the U.S. Similar to me. I was like, I sold everything that I had almost 15 years ago that I had in the US, sold it, gave it away. So I can relate. I can relate to this guy. He said he did that 6 years ago, moved here to the Philippines to be with my wife and our son. That's the time, at the time his son was only a few months old when he did that. And for a while, my wife, and now his issue, his wife's been wanting for them to move from the Philippines to the United States. And I thought that was an interesting topic to make, to do this morning. And just that one comment that he posted, it's got over 1,000 comments. I mean, it's been fun for me, like reading the comments, because he's not the only one in that situation. It's like and my advice is, of course, people have different ways of handling that. We're all different, it's like, but for me, when I left the United States when I was 45, I had no plans on going back to the US, because for me, I sold everything, right? And I was starting my new life in the Philippines. I was not gonna like pick up myself again, go back to the US with nothing in the US. And you know how difficult that would be to start from scratch in the US, get a job, get a house, get a car, all that. And to me, I think that's why when you get here, if you do decide to move here, that has to be. And I've seen people now. I have a friend that did that. And to me, I mean, for him, I'm sure he doesn't look at it as a mistake, and I would not never call it a mistake. But for me, it's like that's a big move, man. It's like you gave up your life there, you come here, you meet a Filipina, next thing you know, you're headed back. Because to me, that's a conversation that you must have with the Filipina, at the point of like when you're dating, even at the beginning of your dating experience with the Filipina. That should be like one of the topics that you'll be discussing with your Filipina. Like you should be saying, "Hey, man, I'm retired. I'm retired here in the Philippines. I do not have any plans on going back to the United States." To me, that's a must topic to be discussed with your Filipina. That way, she doesn't have that in her mind that I'm marrying the Afam, I'm marrying the foreigner, I'm going the American, I'm going to the U.S. And there are many Filipinas that think that. There's a lot of Filipinas that think that. You just have, those are the conversations I think you must have with when you're on the dating phase, especially before you get married. Don't marry a Filipina until you know what she has intentions for the future. If she's got intentions for the future, she wants to go to the U.S. and that's not what you want. It's like, good luck with that. Good luck with that, because that's gonna cause problems for sure. That's gonna cause problems. JP, hello, Beloos. All right, Beloos. Good morning, Beloos. Bizwax, good morning all. And I just found the comments. Like I said, man, there's like 1,000 comments on this guy, and majority of the comments, of course, and even the comments were coming from people in the United States. Those are actually the ones that I had interest in reading, because when I was reading the comments from the U.S., see, Filipinas that are here in the Philippines, all they're hearing is like, "Ooh, life is great in the U.S." Especially if you have a kid, right? If the retired expat comes here, they have a kid with the Filipina. People will tell them, "Oh, your kid's gonna have such a better life in the U.S." And I think they're, of course, that they're hearing that from their friends or maybe even relatives that in the U.S. But they're not giving them the whole picture, man. And I like the comments that I read, because a lot of the comments made sense to me, how it's not easy to start in the United States. If you're giving up, you gave up your life there and you got to go back to it, bringing yourself with like a Filipina that doesn't have a job yet and a kid, man, I don't know about that. I don't know if that is a good move. I don't know if that is a good move. It could be a good move for some, but man, I know how hard it is in the United. People think that when you get to the U.S., you're gonna get rich. That's what most Filipinos hear. Oh, you're gonna have a job. You're gonna make money. Man, in the U.S., I know people in the U.S. that have, in California, I have friends in California that's been working 2 jobs for like the last 20, 30 years, and they're just paycheck to paycheck. So it's not a guarantee, not a guarantee that you will have you got to work hard in the U.S., especially now with all the stuff that's going on, all the illegal migrants going to the U.S., dropping down the salary in the U.S., the crime rate at some of the cities in the U.S. I don't know, man. To give up the life in the Philippines to go back in the U.S., man, I know I wouldn't do it. I know you would never see me do that. Did Dazzle consider going to the U.S., or she just wanted to work in the Philippines after college? Dazzle, her path, if she hadn't met me, J-Boy, Dazzle would have graduated college at STI College Calibo. She had a job lined up in Calibo working at the airport. That would have been Dazzle's job, because her dad has friends in Katiklan, and that was like the job that was lined up for her. And she would have never left Katiklan. Actually, Dazzle, before she met me, she could count in her hand the number of times she went to Calibo. She was just always in Katiklan. Never been to Iloilo City. When I met Dazzle, our trip in college, we had like a conference or something like that. Our school conference was the first trip for Dazzle to Iloilo City. She would have just stayed in Katiklan, work in Katiklan, and then live around her family there. There would not have been an opportunity for her to like go to the US or abroad even. It's like people make that sound like it's easy to do. People here in the Philippines know how hard that is. Even just go abroad, right? From the Philippines. Like, if you don't got money, man, or if you don't have the kind of degree in college, like if you're not a nurse, if you're not a seaman, you might be able to get a domestic helper job to go to Hong Kong or something. It's not that easy to leave the Philippines for another country. You got to go through a lot of stuff. They got those agencies here that will like get your money. Even, you're already going to owe money to these agencies before you even work overseas. J-Boy, hey, Baloos. Charlie Lance, hey, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Charlie, my good friend in Boston. Can you get a divorce in the Philippines? Flyboy, hey, Flyboy. If you're a foreigner here in the Philippines and you marry here in the Philippines, there's no divorce in the Philippines. And they keep talking about divorce in the Philippines. Never gonna happen here, man. The Philippines is so religious. The Catholic Church has so much influence here. A politician that would like present a bill about divorce, that politician's career is going to be dead here in the Philippines if that happens. If you're a foreigner, if you're an American, you marry a Filipina, you can get a divorce in your country and marry in your country. But here in the Philippines, even if you're a foreigner, if you're married a Filipina here, and you get married in the Philippines, that is the only time you'll get married here in the Philippines. You only get one time marriage here in the Philippines. Raphael, hello. Niels, hey Niels, hello. From James and Karen's Adventure Channel. I see you there, Niels, when I do their live stream. Can we get a Gus Spring? Can we get? I decide what he deserves. Only me. Gus Spring, baby. Good morning, all from Ormoc City. Hey, Skating Geezer. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back to the live stream. I'm sure you've been busy. Everybody's busy during the holiday season here in the Philippines. And hey, Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida, my brother from another, the Panay Posse Bros. Panay. LOL, JP, it's awesome when Kuya Gino does Gus Spring. When I do my Gus Spring, man. All right. I like I was saying, I got it on my laptop here, the comments that this guy is getting, and that's the thing, it's like, one of the things that, if you do decide to bring a Filipina to the United States, if you do decide to pack up and go to the US, bring your family, if you got little kids, it's gonna be hard, maybe you have the financial resources to do it and all that. Like I said, we're all different. But man, I just can see like a hardship, starting your life over in the US. And then, a lot of times what I've seen, unfortunately, when a Filipina, when they first get to the US, they got other Filipinas in their ear. They got the other Filipinas are telling them, they're trying to Americanize your Filipina that you brought there, from the Philippines to the US. And I've seen some horror stories, it's like, you bring your Filipina back in the US, all of a sudden, she's talking divorce, you got to end up alimony, you got to child support, just a lot of things that can go wrong. It's like, for me, it just does not make sense for me when you came to the Philippines to retire, give up your life, and you're now retired in the Philippines. you're like living the life, man. You're living the dream here in the Philippines. To give that up because your Filipina wants to go to the US, to me, it's like that discussion should have been made before you married that Filipina. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. It might work for you. It might work for you, but man, you're asking for trouble. I think if you do that. Hello, Daniel, JB. All right, Belus. Just letting you know, rain, rain in Leyte. That's funny, Belus. Man, sunshine here, man. Let me show you how sunny it is here, man. It's like bright and sunny. Gonna be hot today. I'm predicting hot weather here today, man. I'll just show you how sunny and bright it is this morning here. Nice breeze though. I can feel a little bit of cool air still. Light breeze in the leaves here. The parol right here. The parol outside. That's my neighbor's parol. They hang on this tree. But look at that sunshine there, man. Bright and sunny. Like I said, like my neighbor, 1, 2, 3 doors down, they had a big party last night. They had karaoke last night, man. But all quiet in the neighborhood as usual here. Just gonna be a nice day today for sure. And we don't have plans yet. I know Mom has been hinting to Dazzle that she wants to go fishing, so I don't know if they are going fishing today or not. Skating geezer. I was in the States for almost 4 weeks. Oh, all right. That's why you've been out. So how was that? How was that, skating geezer? How was the trip in the United States for 4 weeks, and taking care of business and visiting some family, but have been back about a month now. All right, all right. Man, me, I haven't been back, man. I have no desire to go back to the U.S., man. My sister's the only one that I want to see. She's in Houston, Texas, and she should be here in January. So my sister visits me here, so it works out better that she visits me instead of me visiting her in Houston, Texas. You look like Obama. All right, I look like Gus Spring. Now I look like Obama. All right. Hello, Daniel. Vertisium. All right. Hi. All right, Daniel. That's mean, Mr. B. That's mean. Get duped. All right. That's all right, Daniel. I can, I don't mind. Like, like I said, man. I'm retired military, man. I'm bulletproof, man. I can take any hits from people. No Christmas decoration for your place. No, not this year, man. We're not, we're gonna celebrate Christmas. We're gonna do, but just no, not in our house. We got to, right now we're still recovering from the loss of our Chloe. It's like Dazzle and I, we're not, right now we're not feeling normal. Not like our, Chloe was like we call Chloe our like stress reliever. The minute you wake up, she's so up. I mean, even opening the door when we leave the house, when we come back, Chloe's one of those dogs, like when you come at the house, she acts like she hasn't seen you in a year. She's so excited. She's just jumping on you every time for like the last 11 and a half years. So we're still, it's going to be a while for Dazzle and I to get back to our normal self. It's hard for us right now to do any celebration or anything like that. Good morning, Kuya Gino. Hey, Precious Joe. Thank you for joining the live stream. Belus. I do have many Filipino friends, men and women, who are successful as well. They're not all horror stories. My best bro is Philam. Yes, rub that sunshine. Rub that sunshine. LOL. Oh yeah, I hear success stories all the time too, man. It's like more success stories than anything. But that dynamic, and it's not like because I think you hear people saying, he's not bringing his wife to the U.S. because he don't trust her. It's not that. It's just that it's not easy living in the U.S. anymore. It's like I see people that are struggling in the US. I see people, friends of mine that I talk to, and they're saying, man, it's like paycheck to paycheck. You're like hanging on to your job, layoffs, and just the craziness that you have to deal with are working. So I could not imagine if even for me, just Dazzle and I, for us, the two of us, to go to the United States right now and to start out, like to get like apartment, get a car, get a job. You know, why would we do that to ourselves? We're living a great life here. We don't have to work here. You know, it's like we can just enjoy. We can, on the spur of the moment, like this past week, I can go with Edgar to Iloilo City for like 4 days and just like, you know, go shopping. You know, we're able to do that here. You know, in the U.S., you know, I know people that aren't able to take vacations in the U.S., you know. Uy, Precious Joe, uy, uy, that's a common, here in the Philippines, when Filipinos see each other, you go, uy, uy, you know, uy. The loose. Pinay, alright, Pinay, hard at home, alright. Hi Gino, magandang umaga, magandang umaga, magandang umaga, Pinay. Good morning po. Hey, there's Leanna, she's home from church, Oh, I like that little clip you got there, Liana. Yeah. And girly. Good morning. There's mom. There's mom. Home from church. Hi, Precious Joe, Pinay Heart from GP. Good morning. Good morning, GB. Hi, Precious. Same to you. GP, hello po. Good morning. Completely understand, Kuya. Oh no, I am sorry about Chloe. I know. It's like we're still, all of us, you know, of course we're saddened, you know, so it's hard. It's hard. It's not the same, you know, it's not the same in our house right now. It's gonna be a while. I mean, we still got Totoy, you know, but Toto is not as affectionate. But, you know, Toto is good. She's a good dog too. Hi, GP. Christmas in my heart and soul, not just trees. Same with me. You know, it's like tonight is opening of lights at Pastrana Park. I'll be there. I'll film that. I've gone through that opening of lights at Pastrana Park pretty much most of the years I've been here in Aklan Province. So, and I know, you know, it's gonna be good just to be out. You know, Dazzle and I will go there. I don't know if Leanna and Mom are coming along, but yeah, that's the day. The opening of lights at Pastrana is this evening. Good morning. Yeah, I can't imagine trying to celebrate the holidays after the loss. I know, right? You know, it's hard. It's hard, Team Milker, you know, saying Head for Soul. I know, you know, and like I said, Chloe was just not Dazzle nice baby. She's like the baby of everyone. If you had met Chloe, she's like so affectionate to anybody. We were always worried about Chloe because you could be a total stranger, come in our house and pick up Chloe and she'll go with you. She was just that so friendly to everybody. Even when Mike, if you remember that Philippines Life, Michael, when he filmed my house here, when he opened the door, Chloe just like wanted Mike to carry Chloe. Mike was even saying, "Man, it's just so friendly." You know, it's like I haven't seen a dog like that. You know, like first time you ever meet Chloe, she'll like jumping up and down, like excited to like for you to pick her up because she thought everybody was her friend. You know, she thought everybody was her friend. I know, and we were dreading it too. Tim Milker, we were dreading it. I always told that Dazzle, I think especially the last 2 years because Chloe was getting up in age, I was telling her that, man, you know, we gotta really take lots of pictures, you know, film her a lot, you know, because it's a day that I dreaded, a day that Dazzle dreaded, and unfortunately, it happened the day before Thanksgiving this year. That is true life in the U.S. It's hard. Yeah, right? Flyboy. People think, you know, especially, I mean, I can understand here in the Philippines, I can understand why some, you know, when people here in the Philippines, you know, this is a hard life. If you're like a worker here in the Philippines trying to get by paycheck to paycheck, now this is hard. Now, it's still better in the U.S. if you're just like getting by here in the Philippines. Of course, any Filipino here that's just getting by here, if they have an opportunity to go to the US, of course they're gonna jump at that opportunity. But for somebody that's already retired in the Philippines, that you're no longer working, you're just enjoying life day to day here, to give up that life to go back to the United States just because your Filipina wants it, or somebody gets in your Filipina's ear, tells her, oh, your kids are going to be better off in the US. I don't think that's true anymore. I don't think that's true anymore. You can argue with, you can have different opinions on that. But if you're bringing a Filipina that doesn't have a job yet, or if her only skill when she gets to the US, if she's not, like I said, if she's not a nurse in the US, if she's just gonna be working at Walmart or something like that, it's not gonna be a fun life for her either. She's gonna learn that real quick in the US, that it's not all fun and games in the US. And especially if you're bringing kids to the US, young kids, daycare alone will kill you in the US. It's like, I know daycare ain't cheap anymore in the US. You're gonna be spending $1,000 a minimum a month on daycare. If you gotta work and leave your kid at the daycare, not cheap. Yeah, those are the things that a lot of Filipinos here, they don't realize that, because of course, like I said, their Filipina friends here are under, oh, you should go to the US, it's better for you there. Man, I don't think, you got to really think that through before you make that move. And I'm finding out, even for like my friend that went to the US, he's bringing in like 2 little kids and a wife to the US. He is struggling now in the US because he did that to himself, man. He could have had like a cush job. He could have had a cush retirement here in the Philippines. You can hire a nanny here. If you got kids here, you can hire a nanny here for less than $200 a month. You go to the US, you are the nanny in the US, and you are the one changing diapers there. You are the one going to the, anytime that your kid is sick, you have to miss time at work because your kid is sick. Daycare won't take your kid if your kid is sick in the US, you're gonna lose time at work. You're gonna lose paycheck. You lose your paycheck. Yeah. We envy your life over there. If only we can be there, right? I know, Pinaya. I know. Many people that contact me. That's why when this guy, I know he's like when he said he posted that comment. I could tell he doesn't want to go to the U.S. either. He's been here 6 years. He retired here, gave up his life in the US, but his wife is like the one pushing him to move back to the US. And I'm glad people were commenting on the comments. Maybe his wife will read the comments, because people think life in the US is easy. It is not easy. And I know that people in the US know this. It's like, I know people in California. I got friends in California. 2 full-time jobs, 16-hour day of work, and they're getting by. They're paycheck to paycheck. Why would you do that to yourself, man? Work 2 jobs, and people do it because for survival. But if you have a choice, why would you do that to yourself? Lamb Chop and Angeli from JB. Lamb Chop and Angeli said hi. Belus, Gino for president. I don't know about for president, man. I would never run for politics here, man. I don't want to get shot, Belus. It's like, if you're a politician here, man, you risk yourself for getting shot here. 5 years married and wife, not even go for a visit. I tried to return 2 years. We're just so busy here. Yeah. No reason, right? No reason. Your wife's happy in Leyte. You guys got a farm. You got a nice house. Why would she give that up to go to America? You'll be lucky if you can do a 4-day trip for $1,000. Skating Geezer, visiting family was great, but I went back to clear out the storage unit. Sadly, a thief cut my lock off and put on theirs and stole all my stuff. Wow, I thought, but oh man. And I'm hearing that too, Skating Geezer. I'm from people that are, crime is on the up, and I'm hearing from people that just recently come here, like even James and Karen, James always tells me he feels a lot safer here in Aklan than when he was back in the US, he said, man, here in Aklan, he can ride around on his motorbike at night. He can go to 7-Eleven at night. No worries. When he was in the U.S., he had to be careful where he would go at nighttime. J-Boy, hi to Mom and Leanna. Blessed Sunday. All right. Thank you, J-Boy. 4-day trip to the U.S. I know. It's like people always tell me, oh, how come you don't bring Dazzle to the U.S.? I'm like looking at it. Dude, I don't got that kind of loot, man. It's like the ticket alone for Dazzle and I to fly to the U.S., the ticket alone for the two of us, maybe at least 3,000 round trip just on the ticket alone. And to process like a tourist visa for Dazzle, the paperwork alone costs like over $1,000. Then the interview at the embassy, we got to fly to the embassy for the interview just to visit, man. I'd rather go to like Singapore. I can just hop on a plane in Iloilo City, go to Singapore without a visa, land in Singapore and have a visa. They'll stamp Dazzle's passport and my passport. We're good to go. It's like the US, man, they got so many steps just for Dazzle to go there, man. Hello, Dazzle. How are you? I'm good, my friend. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Skating Geezer, send back 4 balikbayan boxes of stuff I really like, but the thief saved me. Yeah, that's so unfortunate, man. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm sure those were like prized possessions that you wanted. You kept it in storage. You wanted to bring back to the Philippines. That's terrible that happened to you. But I'm hearing that, man. I'm hearing that crime is up. Most even in the different places in the United States, that crime is up. We got so many illegal migrants that moved to the United States. I think, what was that, 20 million illegal migrants? Nighttime in the U.S. I'm in day. All right, nighttime. All right, Rami. Hey, Tex-Fed. All right, Tex-Fed. My good friend in Galveston, Galveston County, Texas. Good morning, Gino family. Y'all have a great day. All right, brother. We're gonna have a great day here. A sunny day. So it would not surprise me if when Dazzle wakes up that she asks Mom if they'll go fishing today. We are the nanny. I know, right, Pinay? I know, right? You're the man here in the Philippines. I have a friend here. He's retired army. He now has 2 kids, 2 young kids, right? He's retired army. Like me, that this is his pension is like his military pension. He's got 2 kids. I think they're 4 and 2 years old now. He got 2 nannies. He got a nanny for each kid, man. It's like he doesn't have to change a diaper or anything, man. The cook, the runner, the driver, and call all. Yeah, I know, right? It's like I mean, you do everything. You can't afford a driver. Edgar's got a driver. You can't afford that in the U.S. How many people do I know in the U.S. got a driver? It's like Edgar. He's got a driver, man. And any skills they want. We don't have nearby friends that visit us because they are surviving too. I know, right? I had a conversation this morning with my good friend Melissa in Corpus Christi, and that's the thing. It's like she was mentioning how people don't have that bond even with family and friends. Because people are busy with their own lives. People are like busy surviving in the U.S. Here, man, I can just walk out the street. I can be talking to my neighbor. And next thing I know, it's like, hey, he's inviting me to dinner. Or, oh, we're having a get-together. Come here to our house this weekend. I get invited like that all the time here. People talk. People are neighborly. And family, it's like my family now is all of Dazzle's family. It's not just Leanne and Mom. We got the 4 nephews that we have in Katiklan. Miko, Dazzle's younger brother. Makmak, the older brother. Nene, the older sister. Uncle Poloy, It's like a group of people here, if I got sick or anything like that, I got people that's going to be watching me and taking care of me. Not an issue at all, That's why even with my friends, that are here, like Edgar, Mel, if they get admitted for some reason at the hospital here, I'm there for them. Dassel's there, mom is there for them. We would like watch them because they're our friends. That's how it is here in the Philippines. Your family, your friends, we're all like we're a community here that support each other. You just don't get that anymore in the U.S. I know even before I left in the U.S., man, when I was in Tucson, Arizona, yeah, you got neighbors and, neighbors when I lived in Arizona, when I was leaving my house to go to work and come home from work, a lot of times it's like, hey, what's up? What's up? It's like a wave of the hand or anything, but you never really have time to like talk to your neighbors and let alone hang out with your neighbors. One more thing before I go, everyone. It is raining. It is still raining in Leyte. To me, man, from what Belus tells me, it reminds me like, what's that? Like Seattle, like Leyte, always raining. Or England, or like the United Kingdom, how United Kingdom always rain. God bless. God bless, man. God bless, my brother. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your rainy day in Leyte, man. Aloha, Derek. Aloha, brother. Aloha, Kanawea, Hawaii. All right, my brother there, Derek in Hawaii. Pinay, people are jealous because we have pretty background with our pictures, but no one knows that USA is not always living the American dream. Yeah, like I said, Melissa and I were even talking about that this morning. All they see in the US is people, you're taking a cruise vacation, you have a nice car, you have a nice house, but with all that in the US, that's bills, man. Very few people in the United States can live, like they say, like without credit, right? Everything's on credit, so man, you lose your job in the US, it's traumatic. It's traumatic because like you lose your job in the US, all of a sudden you can't pay your mortgage, you can't pay rent, you can't pay your car payment, you can't pay insurance. That's why people think that, when you're in the US, it's like they're asking, hey, send me a balikbayan box. I want this for Christmas. They think they think Americans or even Filipino Americans living in the US, they think we're all rich, right? We're in the US. Oh yeah, Gino's rich. He live in the US. He should send me an Air Jordan. He can easily send me stuff, man. Man, you gotta work. You gotta work in the US, man. Demon. Why don't program? All right. Too many bugs. Too many bugs. All right. Same thing with us, Gino. They are asking me, why are we not visiting the Philippines? Man, why are right? I know what you're saying there, Pinay. They're making it like you're living in the U.S. How come you don't visit the Philippines? They think it's cheap to visit the Philippines, man. It ain't cheap. If you and your husband got to go to the Philippines, your ticket alone is going to be $3,000, $4,000. And then when you get here, you got all the pasalubong that you got to bring for everybody. And then when you get here, it ain't cheap when you're like on vacation here. You're looking at minimum, like even for a 3-week vacation in the Philippines, you're looking $4,000, $5,000. So the whole trip to the Philippines is going to cost you about $10,000. That ain't cheap, man. We don't have the $5,000-$6,000 plus expenses on us. I know, right? They make it sound like, it's so easy for like people in the U.S. They don't realize that here, unfortunately, and that's what it is on this. I feel for the guy, because I'm sure somebody's feeding his wife like, go to the U.S. You're gonna have a better life there. Where they're here in the Philippines, retired, they're not both working. Man, if that couple goes to the US, both of them are going to be working. Their kids are going to be in daycare. Why would you like trade that lifestyle to like a lifestyle here in the Philippines where you got nannies, you got maids, you're not working? To me, I would not understand. But I see people doing that move though, man. I see it, and I'm like, I just shake my head when I see it happen because I know the misery that's facing them once they get to the U.S. And then that's hard gonna be, the expat, older gentleman with a younger Filipina, the dynamic. If you come to the age gap when you come to the United States, the Filipina, she doesn't realize when she gets to the U.S., there's that thing where like, she married him for the money, kind of thing. People gonna be looking at them because you got like, an American and you got a tiny Filipina. There's just that, it's like here in the Philippines, you ain't got to worry about all that stuff here. I was told by an immigration person in the U.S. that it costs about $2,000 to get a fiance to the U.S. A tourist visa is hard to get from what? Oh yes, almost impossible. A tourist visa, if you're thinking of getting a tourist visa from a Filipina here, even for Dazzle, she's my wife, for her to get a tourist visa to go to the United States, it is not easy. You're going to end up spending money on the application, going to the embassy, and I've seen people, friends of mine here, married to an American, and they get denied. And you won't even know the reason why you get denied. The immigration person at the embassy just denied, no reason. You're denied. You can't go. You can't get the tourist visa. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to get the American tourist visa. And I know why the U.S. is so strict with the tourist visa, because there's people that overstay their visa. There's people that end up working in the United States. I understand that, but to me, it doesn't make any sense for me where I can just hop, like I said, I can go to Iloilo, hop a direct flight to Singapore, and experience the cheaper costs in Singapore, nice hotel, nice, great food, amazing food in Singapore, and be there in like 4 hours, direct flight from Iloilo City, land in Singapore, get Dazzle stamp on her visa in Singapore. We can even visit Kuala Lumpur. We can go, it's so easy. And the ticket is $200 round trip from Iloilo to Singapore. So to me, it's cheaper, more fun for Dazzle and I to like go nearby than go to the U.S. And then, when we get to the U.S., the minute you land there, you got to rent a car, maybe you got a relative that will lend you a car there, but still, that's like, you don't want that, you want that person, you're not in their insurance on their car, all kinds of issues, so to me, doesn't make any sense. There's so many other countries for me to visit. I've been to the U.S., I know what the U.S. is all about. So it's not like, I do want to someday show it to Dazzle. If it's an easier process, I wouldn't mind showing the United States to her, but it's not easy. It's just not an easy process to go to the United States. Gino could have Gus Ring grease the wheels. Grease the wheel, Gus Ring. I can just cross the border, probably. Well, I don't know now. I don't know. I guess the Mexico-American border is pretty strict now. It's not as easy now to cross the border. It's impossible to get a tourist visa. It's crazy. While American can be, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I've seen it. And I remember my friend here, he was married, unfortunately she passed away already, but her husband was an American. He's a retired school teacher, and he wanted to bring her on a tourist visa. They were my friends in Calibo, tourist visa to the United States, and she got denied. And the money that they spend on the application, trips to the Manila, they're coming from Calibo, they have to go to Manila for the interview, and just to be denied. And when you get denied that tourist visa, there's no reason. You're just like denied, bye. They don't tell you what you did wrong or why they denied you. They don't have to. They don't have to give you a reason. I plan on marrying this female from Cebu. She has one son from another Filipino that left her. I am willing to accept her son. Yeah, that's very common here, man. That's why Filipinas here, actually, the single Filipina moms here, the ones with kids here, a lot of times they have a better chance of finding a person that will accept them and marry them with foreigners. Filipinos here, man, are picky, man. Filipinos here, if you got a kid already, they look at that as like, oh, I'm not raising another person kid. I mean, there's few, I'm sure. I don't want to generalize. I have a friend, one of my professors. he married somebody with a kid and it worked out for them. But most of the Filipinos I know here, the minute there's a kid involved already, they prefer somebody, unlike Americans. I know Americans, Canadians, you absorb the person as your own. I had a stepdad, that's why I got my green card. My mom married an American. His name was Earl, so he treated me like his own son. So I know. Unfortunately, that's not a common dynamic here in the Philippines. There's a little stigma here with like a person taking on. You'll hear comments like, "Well, that's not really my kid," or especially like adopted. If you're, "Oh, he's adopted," it's kind of like, what's the matter if it's adopted or not? It's still your kid, right? But with Filipinos, that's a big thing. You hear comments like that from Filipinos, unfortunately. Derek, I like Philippines life. Latest video. Couple from Las Vegas built a nice house in Roa City. 100% off grid. All right. I'll have to catch that. I'm behind on all the videos, man, of my friends. I'm behind on all the videos, so I'll have to catch up. I am mine driver. Daniel, you're your own driver? All right, Daniel. I agree, Gino. I feel safer in the Philippines than when I'm in the US. Yes, my dollar gets much more here than in the US. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of us are here. Like for me, that was the whole point for me retiring here in the Philippines, was the cost of living. My military pension goes a long way here. If I was in the US at age 45 with my military pension, I would be working till I'm 62. The last 15 years, I would have been in an office working, toiling in the, meetings. I hated those, man. I hated meetings and deadlines, and sometimes you get unlucky and you get a supervisor that you don't like enough to make you leave the job. Unfortunately, that happens. Fortune, hey, good AM, Fortune, the Panay Posse. All right, Fortune. Just came from church. All right, Leanna and Mom just came home from church too. We were the family sponsor for the lighting of the pink Advent candle. All right, man. I know Fortune, he's really involved with his church, man. Good morning, Kuya, Fortune, J-Boy, blessed. I know, Gary, blessed. It's a good feeling when you know you're blessed, right? When you know you have a good life, when you wake up every morning thankful for your life, that's a good feeling. You know you're blessed when that happens. Good AM, JP, Colonel, J-Boy, Blues. Man, it's a whole list of people here. All right, Fortune. Good AM, Derek. Mark Wiens. I know Mark Wiens. I'm a fan of Mark Wiens, and I love his. I love how he eats all those spices. I used to be big on spices, man. I could handle, give me jalapeno pepper. It never too spicy for me, man, before. But when I had my treatments for cancer, it messed up my taste buds, my throat, and everything. Now I can still handle a little bit of heat, but not as much anymore. Not as much. You're the king. Stay safe. Stay blessed. All right, Dr. Chill. Fort, all right, from Daniel. Absolutely right, from Luke. Thank you, Luke. Saw the latest That Philippine Live video by Mike. Las Vegas couple, American, Pinay nurse, built a nice home along the beach. I know, I'll have to watch that now, man. That's the second comment about I'm sure it's a great video. I like the videos that Mike is doing now of all the different homes, retirees. Like, he featured my home. He featured my $24,000 home here at Camellia. He featured me. I really appreciate Michael doing that. Kuya Fortune, how long did you end taking shopping? Oh yeah, that's right. He went to Quiapo Church yesterday. Colonel, all right. Daniel says hello to the Colonel. Pinay. Also, don't forget, Filipina value change here too. Crab mentality is real until I'm, oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's why I appreciate. I mean, there's one Filipina. We become friends with her on Facebook. We don't really know her. Her name's Daniel, but I could tell she maintained her being Filipina, coming from the Philippines, and I'm sure her husband appreciates it because that's one of the things that you have to watch with your Filipina. When you bring a Filipina that's from here, the Philippines, to the U.S., slowly they become Americanized and they lose their traditional values of becoming a Filipina here. Slowly they're starting adapt to like the American lifestyle. Big red flag when your Filipina starts like buying all the expensive stuff in the US, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. And when she starts valuing all that stuff, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, man. You made the wrong move moving your Filipina to the US, and wait till the other Filipinas get on your Filipina's ear about, oh, you can't put up with that with him. It's like, oh man, you're in trouble once you get to that point. And it's a competition, like Pinay is saying here about crab mentality. Filipinos in the U.S., they get, not all, again, I'm not making a generalization, but you see this a lot. It becomes like a competition. They don't want any Filipina succeeding. They try to like bring them down or start a rumor against them. It's like, it happens here too in the Philippines, don't get me wrong. But here, you have your family here. You have your support system here. A lot of Filipinas that move to the United States, that's one thing they don't realize. If you don't have the support system there, like if Dazzle and I went to the US right now, Dazzle does not have a single relative in the US. That would be a big change from her lifestyle. Here, mom is here, Leanna's here, Nene comes, she got all this family support. If Dazzle and I went to the US right now, she did not have a single relative in the US, and she will be lonely. She will miss her family for sure, and miss the nephews growing up, Leanna growing up, mom, it's like she's gonna miss all that for sure. So ashamed. So we ended up decided to be on our own to avoid more conflicts. I understand. I know what you had to go to, Pinay Heart. Sometimes especially, I saw that a lot of that in California, especially the Filipinos in California. They got like a competition. Who's got the better home? Who's got the better job? Who's got a better car? Everything's about competition. And to me, that's just not, that's not the lifestyle I want to live. I'm too frugal anyway, especially now. Have you ever... Jason Potter, all right. There's mom, Jason Potter. There's mom. She's not doing karaoke. No, there you go. She did do karaoke at Edgar's birthday. J-Boy, I watched a blogger where it took them almost 6 months to compile all the requirements, and when they finally submitted to immigration, she would decline in 5 minutes, right? To me, it's like, why put yourself through that? It's like, I'm not gonna put Dazzle through that. It's like, compiling all the paperwork, going to Manila, interview, the payment, the application's not a problem. I don't mind paying the application fee, but I wouldn't want to put Dazzle through all that and then just get denied. It's like, not worth it for us. There's so many other countries. I want to take Dazzle to Korea because I was stationed in Korea. I want to take her to Japan before I even consider taking her to the United States. Hey, Jason Potter, Pinay. That's true, Gino. When U.S. tourist visa is denied, there's no way to appeal and request to Korea. I know, nothing. Like my friend, when she got denied, she was like heartbroken. And she said, they didn't even tell me why they denied me. No letter, no nothing. They just give you all your paperwork back, you're denied. Bye. It's like, to me, it's cruel, man. At least tell me, right? At least tell me, why was I denied? What was the reason why I was denied to on a tourist? to be a tourist, and it's not like you're trying to work in the United States. You're just trying to like go to Disneyland or something, see the United States on vacation. But you know, Fortune G Boy took me 30 minutes. I was with my driver James. See, look at that, man. Fortune got a driver. Look at that. The Fortune don't even need to drive, man. He got himself a driver, man. And Ate Ning, so driver in charge of driving and finding parking. Yeah, right. So this is I can picture Fortune. Quiapo is super busy in Quiapo. Thousands of people going to Quiapo church, Quiapo shopping. So here's a Fortune. I can picture it. Driver's gonna drive him in front of the cathedral, in front of the church, drop him off, and the driver's responsible to find the parking while Fortune is doing his thing. And then when it's time to pick up, he just got a text message to the driver, "Hey, I'm ready. Come get me." You don't even have to walk to find the driver. The driver's gonna come and get you, man. People are like, that's a treatment that you get here in the Philippines. It's hard there. We go in, it's already open. Oh yeah, the ham. You got the ham. All right, Fortune. You got the Chinese ham. You bought the Chinese ham. Hello, Master Yoda from JP. Hello, Master Yoda. Gino is the example of achieving both American and Philippine dream. Yes, I would say, because, and that's why I'm always grateful for my opportunities in the America. Thankful for the military. I'm able to retire here in the Philippines because of my service in the United States Air Force. But I've experienced both. I was the American dream because I came from the Philippines, worked in the United States. Now I'm experiencing the Philippine dream, where now I'm retired, been retired now come March, 15 years. I've never had to work here. The 15 years here, been just able to enjoy my life. And then from now on, from the rest of my life, I'm just like enjoying my time here. And I got a beautiful family, Dazzle, Liana, mom. We're all happy together, living on our tiny house, but we always have fun. It's always like laughter in our house because between the Dazzle, Liana, and mom, they're always teasing each other. They're always giving each other a hard time. And then karaoke. and then karaoke at night. Avoided the rush. Ate Ning lines up on the scraped ham, chicken, galantina, and longanisa. I line up in the... Oh, so you got a system. Fortune. Everybody lines up with a different line. All right. Great system, Fortune. The key there is to tell the tindera, the salesperson, how many do you need and what's the price range. They will do the picking for you. All right. When I started working here in the US, I experienced a lot of discrimination and toxic bosses. Right? It's like that, imagine this, Pinay Heart. Dazzle, she's tiny in stature. Dazzle, if you meet her in person, Dazzle's not even 5 foot, right? And then not only that, Dazzle looks really young. She's 30 years old now, but a lot of people think Dazzle's like 18 or 19. Imagine if me and her were in the United States and she had to work like a fast food place in the US or Walmart in the US, what kind of discrimination she's gonna be feeling there, or experience. I do not want her to go through that, man. And toxic bosses, right? It could be a boss that's like, not a good person. Why would I expose my wife to that? Have no choice but to deal with it then. Yeah, right. You don't, because you're just happy you had a job, right? You're just happy. And that's why I tell Dazzle all the time, man, you don't want to work in the US. You don't want to work in the US, man. We have no choice because my husband's income isn't enough for us. And that would be Dazzle's and I's situation. If we go to the United States right now, my pension is not going to be enough. I would have to work. Dazzle would have to work. So we would only see each other like your typical working couples in the US, Unlike here, we're together 24/7. We do things. We do fun things every day. go with the flow. You know, it's like she can wake up and she can decide. Mom and her can decide, hey, let's go fishing, and we can do that. You know, it's like we can't do that in the U.S., man. You know, everything's like you got like chores, you got errands, you got to wash your car, you got to go grocery shopping, you got to iron your clothes. I mean, there's so many things that you have, you know, because come Monday to Friday, it's all about work. It's all about working. If you're lucky enough to just have one job, you know, what if you got two jobs? You know, it's like all of us are truly blessed, but only a few realize are grateful for it. Yeah. And the thing is, when you get that feeling that you're blessed, when you feel that gratefulness in your heart, that's when you're gonna find peace and happiness in your life. Yeah. Until you get to that point, you know, until you get, you know, I see people all the time, you know, it's like they got so many blessings in their life, but they're not able to enjoy it because they're still chasing money or something. You know, it's not enough. You know, it's never enough for some people. And you know, I feel bad for them actually when I see that, because they're not looking at the picture like, man, you know, you're alive, you're healthy, you know, you're financially doing well. You know, to me, man, you know, Kuya Fortune, that's quick for Quiapo. The ham is that's not bad. You know, that 1,800 per kilo. That ham is, man, that ham is like legit. The Chinese ham there is legit. Various sizes. There are also bone-in hams. 3,000. Ooh, man. But I know they're good. I know the Christmas ham is good here. If you can retire and be with your Filipina wife, keep her in the Philippines so you don't risk your marriage. Thank you, Filipina. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people, you know, don't realize that. You know, it's you know, especially if you're like in the foreigner, like an American, a Filipina that's here in the Philippines. If that foreigner came here, retired here in the Philippines, that's gonna be the best situation for both of them, relationship wise, because they're not gonna be stressed with working. If they have kids here, they can have nannies here that can take care of their kids. Man, if you take your Filipina back in the US and both of you gotta work, that's enough stress right there to kill a marriage, man. Fortune Gino saw my pics. Then we went to our favorite carinderia in Makati for breakfast. All right, Aling Sosings. All right. That was featured by Mark Weens. I know, man. Mark Weens. I like Mark Weens and Mike Chen too. Mike Chen is the two that I watch. The two bloggers, food bloggers. To me, they're like the top of the food bloggers. Like Mike Chen. He looks like Jackie Chan. He looks like Jackie Chan. And Mark Weens. You know, Mark Weens. I always like it when he eats something. You go, oh, he makes like faces. Like, man, this is amazing. You know, it's amazing. You can search the video. Then we went distribute. All right, Fortune. Yes, G-Boy, I already know what to do. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You gotta have a strategy during the holidays when you go shopping, going to these places. You know, that way you don't spend many hours in line. Like for me, always anyway, we don't go like grocery shopping or anything like that on like a Saturday, Sunday here in Calibo. Always on a weekday, always after lunch on a weekday. In the US, they try to keep up with the Joneses, but the Filipinos try to keep up with the Marites. The Marites. Sergino. BSID. All right. Let me see. I'm trying to see the name here. Let me see if I can figure out the name here. Let me see. Kim must be somebody I went to school with. Somebody I went to school with in STI College Calibo, because the person knows I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Was the degree that Dazzle and I, we both earned that degree from STI College Calibo. Then we picked up Maggie, UP Diliman. Last exam, first semester ends. She gets 1 month off. Same thing with Leanna. Same thing with Leanna, Fortune. Friday was her last day of school, so she's on Christmas break. When does she go back, Mom? Like January?
January. Ay, info mo, January.
Maybe first week? First week? Yeah, first, 5. Maybe January 5 is when. So Leanna's got good 3-week vacation. 3-week vacation here at home. We had lunch in Gubat. I saw that Gubat, man. I saw that restaurant Gubat in Quezon City. It looked like a jungle. It looked like a jungle. They served the food in like a banana leaf. Banana leaf. I saw they got sisig. You eat in a banana leaf. Banana leaf is like your plate. You know, I saw that. Really cool, Fortune. Thank you for sending me those pictures. That's it. Forest setting. Yeah, forest. It's like a Gubat jungle setting. Pinoy food. Eat with hand. Oh, I didn't know that, and that's common here. You know, when you eat at places like that, even Mang Inasal. Don't be surprised here in Calibo. If you eat at Mang Inasal in Calibo, it's like a chicken place, barbecue chicken place. More than half of the people will eat with their hands. That's common. So don't freak out when you're in a fast food restaurant and people are eating with their hands. That's common here at Mang Inasal. Mom is the singing queen. I know. Daniel said you're the that's true, Daniel. The minute mom gets the microphone and karaoke, forget it. She won't release that mic. It's gonna take. She won't share that with you, Daniel. Forget it. Once mom's got the mic, forget about it. Kuya Fortune definitely sounds like you have a fine-tuned your routine for Christmas, fine-tuned routine. U.S. immigration denying U.S. tourist visa is really helping the American of having a miserable life. To me, I do understand it in a way because I do know that it's an issue with the tourist visa coming to the United States because they end up staying and working. So I do understand that, but they just make it so difficult. You know, it's like there's so many like me. You know, it's like I have a house here, I have land here. But there's no reason for me to go back to the United States anymore. And for me and Dazzle to go there on a visit, she's not gonna stay there and work and me go back. To me, that doesn't make any sense. But I see it all the time. They deny people going on a tourist visa. Yep, Gino. It is sad to see some Filipina here. They will flaunt how their husband can spend so much money, then put down other Filipinos that working hard. This is just I know, I've experienced that too. I experienced that even my younger years. I learned that pretty fast when I lived in California. California, for some reason, the Filipinos in California become really materialistic. Just my experience, not all, I'm sure it's not all, I don't want to generalize, just my experience, even, because I even experienced it with my own relatives. When we were here in the Philippines, we were all just like getting along and having fun. They get to California, all of a sudden, they're too good for you now. They made it. They make so much money, they don't hang out with you anymore. So it's all good. I understand. It didn't never hurt my feelings when people, even my relatives in the U.S., when they no longer want to hang out with you or do things with you because they're rich now. They have money now. Fortune, the choice are lechon, kawali. I love lechon kawali, man. Daing na bangus. Fried chicken, Hungarian. Oh, Hungarian sausage, Fortune, that's becoming popular. Every restaurant I go now, even Filipino restaurants got Hungarian sausage. I like it. I like Hungarian sausage. A little spicy sausage. Tapa flakes. Rice, adobo sauce, drizzle, red egg, tomato. Man, that sounds like a good restaurant. That sounds like a good restaurant there, Fortune. Drinks is turmeric, iced tea, or calamansi. I prefer calamansi. Ended with turon alamud. All right, turon alamud is like banana plantain with ice cream on top. You know, wrapped in egg roll wrapper. Goku, why would US be merciful if the tourists are coming here to visit and they are legally following? Yeah, yeah. To me, it's like, to me, just the application, you're willing to pay, you know, I'm sure they're vetting you with all the paperwork, I would think it would help the economy in the US for like Filipino tourists, but it is what it is. It's what they do. They deny a lot of Filipinos when they apply for tourist visa. No other side hustle. No, YouTube is it, and it's really not a side hustle for me, Jay, because I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. I'm not one to like ask for money, or when I help people, when I help them transition here, I never ask for money. All my services are free. Consultation, phone call, video call with me. I don't charge anything. So that's not my reason for doing YouTube. Yes, J-Boy, these ham thing have been doing this late 90s. So 30 years now. It's a tradition. Yeah, for me, it's all about tradition. I like those kind of tradition, Fortunes. For your family, the Christmas Chinese ham, you're doing it for 30 years, man. I love that. I love hearing that. LOL, what is Chinese ham? Scared to ask. It's the way they cook it. When they call it Chinese ham, it's a regular ham, but they have like almost like a rub on the outside. It's kind of like caramelized brown sugar. I mean, it's delicious. They know how to make the Chinese ham. LOL, Daniel. It's ham cooked Chinese style, sweet. Yes, sweet, very sweet ham. I will post a video and pictures on my timeline. All right, just asking. All right, no worries. All right, sorry. Thank you. Hey, hello, my good friend in Angeles City, Pampanga. Would Dazzle have to apply for a green card to be able to work? That might take, oh yeah. If I wanted to take Dazzle to the United States, JP, not on a tourist visa. Tourist visa is separate from if Dazzle and I wanted to migrate together to the United States. There's a process, the form alone, the application alone to get her like a green card, to get her a visa, over $1,000 just to apply. And then laundry list of requirements for us, a medical exam even in Manila to apply for that green card. And the process, since we're both here in the Philippines, if I want to take her, could take 2 to 3 years for me. She's my spouse, to get approved from the date of the application to the day that she's flying out to the US. Could take 2 to 3 years or more, depending on the process, depending on the delays or whatever. And then I have to show proof that I can support her. My income has to be enough for me and her to live in the United States. And since I'm here now, my income is my military pension alone. So I don't know if that's even enough. I might even have to go to the United States before her to apply for a job. That way I can show that I have enough income to move her to the United States. It's a whole a process that I will not ever go through. It's like I'm retired here in the Philippines. Dazzle and I are happy here. And with all the stuff that's going on in the US, for me, there's really, the only place I could think of moving there, if I moved her there, would be Houston, Texas, because my sister are there. I have relatives there. So at least Dazzle can feel comfortable, will be around my relatives, but they're all busy. All my relatives there, they got jobs, man. It's not like here where you can spend a lot of time with your relatives. In the US, man, everybody does their own thing. It's like, even family in the US, everybody's like, you're on your own. It's like, we'll help you, but it's like, you got to figure it out yourself. Unlike here, she got the total support system here. And if something happens to me, right? I'm gonna be 60 this coming year. If something happens to me in the U.S., right? If I get sick or if I die, Dazzle's gonna be by herself in the U.S. She's gonna be miserable. How is she gonna manage that? She'll probably end up flying here, be around family. When I pass away, I want Dazzle to be around mom, around Leanna, around the nephews, because I know. I feel at ease. I know they're gonna take good care of her. Not gonna be a problem. If Dazzle and I were the only ones in the U.S., it's like that's gonna be hard if something happens to me in the U.S. Cook sweet. That sounds like a Filipino. Yeah, it looks like a Filipino ham, Daniel. It looks like a Filipino ham. It's okay to have work if the work uplift your morals, but if you are working to survive, your mental health is very much affected. Stress isn't good. I can't wait to move there. I can't wait. I know, right? And it's hard to find a job where, like you said, uplift. People just work to survive in the U.S. It's like if I had ever had a choice, once I got out of the military, once I got my pension of working in a hospital, man, it's one of the most stressful places to work, man. If I could afford not to work, of course I would have said I wouldn't work, and that's not a hard decision to make for me. Yes, Daniel, you have to acquire the taste. J Boy, well said, Pinay. Well said, Pinay. Fortune, Mike Chen has also gone the rounds. Yeah, I know. I'm a big fan. I love Mike Chen, man. I love the Jackie Chan of the food channel, man. Carinderia, Flyboy. Kuya Kurt is great. I've seen a couple of Kuya Kurt. I've seen a couple of his video. Kuya Kurt's more personable. It's like he speaks Tagalog. I like that. But Mike Chen and Mark Weens, they're all about the food, man. They're all about eating the food, man. They love to eat. I mean, they're almost like, I know Mike Chen, man. He's almost kind of like one of those people that, eat so much. I'm like, he's tiny in stature, but man, he can eat, man. He loves to eat. Cook with maple syrup, and it comes out nice. Yeah. Strong. If you know any true daughters, all right. Okay, I don't get that one. Fortune, Aling Sosing did not make the Philippines Michelin Guide, but a few meters away, Carinderia, Chichis, Pansit, and Tugigaraw, Cagayan made the Michelin list. It's a big deal when they make the Michelin list. I know that, people end up going to those restaurants when they get on the Michelin list. I've heard Pinoy say that eating with your hand makes your food. I think so, JP. I've heard that too. Mom has a nice voice. And also Manang Jen, Karen's sister. All right, see? You got a fan. Fortune's your fan, Mom. Fortune's your fan, Mom. I went to McDonald's in Riverside. Oh, I know where that is. I know Riverside, man. I used to go to Lake Elsinore. I used to go water skiing at Lake Elsinore that's near Riverside area. No one stays in the cashier station. Everyone has to order on screen. I have to keep waiting for someone to give me the code of the bathroom. The code for the bathroom. JP, Calibo, definitely. And when food served in banana tastes better. Yeah, right? If you can eat on the banana leaf with your hands, that tastes, adds a little, you're really Filipino when you get to that point. When you can eat, JP, when you get to join in the boodle fight, where they lay this banana leaves, they lay all the food, rice, shrimp, you name it, meat. You're standing in front, and when you eat with your hands on the boodle fight, you're becoming Filipino when you experience that, man. Yes, JP, it's different eating with hands. Makes you eat more. In the South, we always eat fried chicken and pizza with our hands. I know, right? Fried chicken. Edgar was telling me here, he noticed at Jollibee, even when Filipinos there, the kids especially, they eat with a fork and a knife with their chicken. You know, the Edgar told me that it's like in the U.S., you just grab the chicken, start eating the chicken with your hands. Man. I mean, restroom, I can't even get water from the screen because I still need human. I just still need human. They started to introduce that here, Pinay, like at McDonald's. It's now the touch screen now. You don't get it. But you can still go up, you know, me, I always go up to the person because I have a PWD card. They on the buttons, they don't have the discount there. So I always go and then here when you have a PWD card or person with disability card, I can cut through any line anyway. Nobody says anything because I just show my card and they, you know, I get in front of the line, which is nice. Which is nice. I like that. I like that here.
Always priority.
Always priority here. If you're a PWD, if you're a senior, and if you're pregnant, you're always priority here. You won't hear any complaints from people that you're cutting in line. I went to Sonic. I remember it. I love Sonic, man. Restaurant. I can't find someone to talk to. It's all machine now. It's all like a computer screen. You can't get a person. Emilio, hey Emilio. Good morning, Emilio. David. What are those stairs for baby feet? For baby. Well, you're gonna find out, man, when you come to the Philippines. When it comes to stairs here, when they built stairs in the house, there's no like guidelines here. You know how in the U.S. there have to be a certain length, height. Here in the Philippines, and they don't follow any of that. There's no house inspection here. You can build your house here any way you want. You know, so if your stairs is like this or this, it don't matter. No rules here. No rules here. I feel you, my friend. I feel you, my friend. All right, Emilio. When your relatives don't know you anymore. All right, Emilio. That's what happens, man. That's you know, it happened to me. You know, it's like we came to the United States all in the late '70s, and you know, some of my relatives, you know, they were nurses, engineers. They start making good money in the '80s, and then they just disappear in your life. You know, they don't want to do nothing with you. They're I guess. Their lifestyle doesn't fit your lifestyle anymore. So I guess we're not relatives anymore. It's not a problem. Fortune. Forgot the Paco. Ooh, the fern salad. All right. Good AM, Emilio. 1.2 million people moved out of California. I can't blame them, man. California's too expensive, man. And now the state is trying to find ways to tax them. In another state? Oh, that's crazy, man. Next time we will get taxed staring at the sunset here in California. You get a tax for everything in California, man. I feel you, man. I spent time in California. That was my landing spot. I live between my military at George Air Force in California. I lived about 10 years in California. California does things different from the rest of the country. That's why all my relatives in California, this was like towards like the end of the 80s to the early 90s, they all moved to Texas. They all moved to like Houston, Texas, because they realized that California was so expensive. And then Texas doesn't have a state tax. The houses in Texas were bigger and cheaper. So they sold their houses in California and moved to Texas. Bama in the Philippines. Hey, good morning, Gino. Good morning, Bama. People in the U.S. are working to survive. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm seeing that now. It's gotten worse, I think. You know, I left the United States in 2011, and now I can already see that. But now it's a lot worse. You know, the increase in rent, the increase in cost of living in the United States. When I look at the prices now compared to when I left there in 2011, it's insane. It's insane, man. You know, I hear people having $1,000 a car payment. I'm like, what the heck are you buying? You know, it's like $1,000 car payment, you know, for like 6-7 years. I'm like, you know, you're gonna be paying on that car. You know, that's a house here in the Philippines. And man, my mortgage on my house is $200 a month for 15 years, man. So $1,000 on a car payment, that, you know, that is just crazy to me. Adam, yes, if you own your home, then you must be lucky not to worry paying rent, paying other bills. Especially some people has to deal with medical bills as well. Yeah, and even a friend of mine, you know, on the live stream earlier, his house is paid off, but what's getting to him now is like property insurance and then home insurance, you know, the property tax, you know, that's what's getting to him now. It's like he lives in Texas where they have hurricanes from the Gulf, right? So he's got to pay like a hurricane insurance, you know, so he's saying even that, I mean, he's lucky, you know, like I said, he owns his home paid, but it still costs him to live in his house, even though it's paid off. Here in the Philippines, once you pay off your house, like this house here, we only have like a little over 4 years left on a $200 a month mortgage. Once that's done, man, I'm free and clear on this house. You know, it's like we do not have, you know, we're rent free or like mortgage free, you know, in 4 more years. Hairline check. All right, man. Hey, man, I'm getting old. I like my high and tight. You know, I'm just happy I still got hair, man. It's like, you know, I know most people when they hit 60, man, they don't have hair. Nothing wrong with that. I know friends that shave their head, and I've shaved my head before in the military where I did the electric clippers like that. So not a problem. But hey, man, it's like it's part of aging, man. You're gonna have a hairline once you're aging, brother. I once served my neighbors ice cream I made from my wife. Oh man, that's horrible. That's horrible. All right. Disown you when you're broke. Yeah, it's, you know, right? You know, and that's just so unfortunate, right? So unfortunate. They treat you like you're a loser. You know, like if you're not making money, you know, it's like that's unfortunate when that happens. California, it's like 3 times or more. Just mango, 3 pounds. Yeah, I don't know how people in California can survive, you know, like the prices. You know. But I do know a lot of Filipinos that I know, that are friends of mine that live in California. I know they have 2 jobs, you know. It's at least 1 job and a part-time job. You can't survive on unless you're a professional, unless you're like a lawyer or a doctor or a nurse. It's not uncommon in the US. Here, Emilio, all right. Hit the like before. All right. I got to the bottom here. I can relate. Bizwax says I can relate. All right. I'm gonna end the live stream right here. You know, so I was trying to keep it below 2 hours, hour and a half. So I'm right there, like in the middle. Thank you so much. For joining today's live stream. Thank you, Gino. Have a wonderful day. Pinay Heart at home. Thank you so much. Everyone, take care. Have a great day, great afternoon, great evening, and always stay blessed. Thank you, everyone. All right, JP.